We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Boxingego unpack. Yeah. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live.
Eddie Hearn's new disgusting remarks that were geared and sent at Gervonta Tank Davis. Find out what they were in this video. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you come in and smash the like button, gang gang. Eddie Hearn, in a recent interview with the DAZN boxing show, says, quote, "The dangerous thing about Gervonta Davis is he's not a deep thinker. He's not articulate. I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. He's a bad mother effer like Mike Tyson. That makes him dangerous because he's fearless. You can't get into his head." Now, the irony of Eddie Hearn saying this about Tank Davis not being articulate, not being eloquent, and basically not being much of a thinker, the irony is, if you look on social media, he's getting flamed for these comments that he made because it's really rude. And it's like when somebody says not to be rude, but you just know that disclaimer means whatever comes out of their mouth next, it's gonna be that, hey, I don't want to offend you, not to offend you, but, or no offense, but you're ugly as hell. Like, you know, it's the oldest trick in the book. And that's what you had Eddie Hearn doing. He's saying he's not a deep thinker and he's not articulate. So he's making it sound like Tank Davis is a buffoon or a caveman, like he's primitive, like he's this Neanderthal. And it shows you a lot about Eddie Hearn. And I've talked about this extensively on my channel. He has this smug, pompous attitude, this British posh attitude. And I think it does him more of a disservice in America than just perhaps putting a lid on it and saying less. Sometimes less is more. And I think, like, you got to look at it. So Tank just set new records. That's a fact. I made a video about it for the Capital One Arena in DC. And everybody's talking about how Tank's a dog and Tank got power and Tank's a superstar and boxing star and doing crazy live gates. Like, the conversation about Tank has been very positive because Tank is producing positivity, big events, star-studded car with a lot of Brandon Lees and Jerron Boots in it, Demetrius, Boo Boo, Andrade. You had Rashidi Ellis was in the Fight of the Year. I know it's only January, but all in all, Tank is doing big things. The only person that has to open their mouth with a opinion that is way out of line, in my opinion, out of bounds, is Eddie Hearn. Everybody else is really talking about how Tank's power or he's a superstar, how they had fun with the event, and leave it to Eddie Hearn to say something reckless and careless. The other thing one has to question is, why does Eddie Hearn seem to care so much about American problems, American fighters, American promoters, American networks? He's always talked primarily PBC. Let's keep it all the way funky. Primarily PBC. He's always mentioning what Steven Espinoza and Showtime are doing, Leonard Ellerby, what Tank's doing, what Jamal Charlo, who he's fighting, what premier boxing champs and Al Heyman has under their sleeve. It's becoming a bit peculiar and very bizarre, if you will, that he seems so highly concerned. He's always talking about someone else, and it's always fighters that aren't his fighter, Ryan Garcia or whoever, right? You really, why do we even, and I think this is an L for DAZN as well, because premier boxing champions, they have their own podcast, they have their own staff. Why is DAZN posting PBC events and constantly having conversation? Why not promote your events? Like, if you got whoever, I don't even know, Alexis Rocha, promote that fight. But instead, you see more promotion for Gervonta Davis. It's just a bizarre move, because I think every business needs value propositions, and your value proposition can't be something that you don't possess. Like, you go to McDonald's, they could say, we got McFlurries, we got breakfast up until 10:30, We got the McGriddle, the sausage egg McMuffin. We got the Big Mac for lunch. We got, the fish fillet. What's she order? Fish fillet, right? Those are value propositions. You go to McDonald's for the golden nuggets. You go to McDonald's for the playpen or play place or whatever, right? Value propositions. DAZN, their value proposition can't be PBC fighters because you don't have a relationship and or a contract with any of them, so you really have no say-so on their career. So it's just like, it's weird to see DAZN put so much energy and effort into posting on their social media Tank's fights and who Errol Spence. Like, watch, you'll see. Well, Errol Spence, if he fights Keith Thurman, go to DAZN social media handle, they'll post about it. Like, why are you posting? Like, it's almost like, and I feel the same thing with Eddie Hearn. It's like he wants my job. He wants to be a YouTube blogger. Like, you always talking about Tank Davis, and then to say something disrespectful and say, I don't mean any disrespect. Most people that heard this, unless they're Tank haters, feel like it was uncalled for and a despicable, disgraceful, disgusting thing to say. You're saying the man is not articulate and he's not a deep thinker out of nowhere. And what business of that is yours? Like for me, my whole job as a boxing analyst, vlogger, blogger, reporter, whatever you want to call me, is to give my opinion. Why do we need a boxing promoter's opinion on everything? That's why we have YouTube and we have people such as myself. We don't really need a boxing promoter to give their opinion on things beyond the circumference of their own stable. Like, we just want to hear about who you got. Tell us about your lawsuit with Lawrence Okoli. Tell us about when Anthony Joshua's coming back. What's Dillian White doing? Talk about where's Philip Ergovich and Alan Babbitt. Talk about that. Why are you talking about Tank? It's always been weird. To me, it's always going to be weird until Eddie Hearn stops. And then he comes in and he says all these things like, oh, Americans are terrified of me and we're going to shake up. He just says a lot of foolishness. If you say that rematch room in America is not successful, then you're scared of us. Like, that's not it. You haven't produced any stars and you've not bolstered or boosted the profile of anybody. Like Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez was with Golden Boy much longer than he's with Eddie Hearn. And when he was with Golden Boy, his stock was high. When he was with HBO and Showtime, his stock was high. Career-wise, Canelo's stock is at an all-time low. He fought Golovkin, horrible fight in the third fight. People didn't like it. He's getting overpaid for the fights, and then he lost to Bivol. So his career, and then he's fighting Rocky Fieldings and Yildirims and stuff with Eddie Hearn. Some of those fights have been with Eddie Hearn, like Yildirim definitely, right? So Canelo is on the downslide. So it just seems very weird to me that Eddie Hearn has his nose up other people's business. Tank is doing very well for himself. He's a star. People are enjoying it. Leave it to Eddie Hearn to say something insensitive and really uncalled for. But I'm not surprised, because you listen to Barry Hearn when at that Dillian White press conference, he said something else that was egregious and reprehensive. He said that now I got to call Dillian White Mr. White. But years ago, what were you calling him before that? And he referenced the Atlantic slave trade. And to me, this is a testament to how Eddie Hearn and Barry Hearn must think for these conversations to slip out. You're looking at fighters like cattle. You're looking at fighters like judging them. Oh, Tank Davis, he's not a deep thinker. How you know? You never even spent no time with them, right? You just judging because you watched some All Access or you seen an interview. You know what I mean? It's really weird. Like, Tank hasn't really even done nothing. He don't F with you. He don't mess with you. He does his own thing. He got his own promotion. Got his own situation with Al Heyman. Weird stuff, people. Weird stuff. I had to make the video because I thought it was completely uncalled for that Eddie Hearn would even take it there by saying stuff. And again, you guys as boxing fans need to do a better job of checking people. Like, it shouldn't just be me. It shouldn't just be me. Like, Eddie Hearn, he's like getting too big for his britches. Like, there's rumors that he's sleeping with his fighters and different things like that. and he's still trying to make the time to talk about other situations that really have nothing to do. That's just a horrible statement, what he said about Tank Davis. So I gotta make the video and shine light on that, you know? And it comes across as real contrived and fake and biased from Eddie Hearn, because again, you're a promoter. You're not saying nothing about disparaging about your own fighters, and they have their own flaws as well. Like, for example, Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua acted like a little kid after he lost to Usyk, rightfully, and threw Usyk's belts off of the, over the apron, and he threw him over the rope, top rope or whatever. But Eddie Hearn, he never talks about that. Joshua, he doesn't sound necessarily like the sharpest knife in the drawer as well. Sometimes his points or his interviews come across as confusing or hard to understand, but he's only saying it to fighters like Tank that aren't his own fighters. So at least if you were going to give this, you're just a stickler for people who are articulate, linguistics and things like that, at least be consistent. How many Eddie Hearn fighters put on interviews and they don't sound like the smartest people? You know what I mean? So at least keep it, if that's really what you're about, you're going to nitpick people, nitpick your own fighters as well, And if you're not willing to do that, then you're not willing to do your job, and your job's really a boxing promoter. So you're already doing too many jobs, starting podcasts and sleeping with fighters and things like that. Man, stop. Let me know how I did. We unpack. Gang. A lot of people ask me what I use to create content. Things like YouTube thumbnails that generate thousands of views. For the first time ever, the cat is out of the bag. I use Canva Pro. But Canva Pro is so much more than a YouTube thumbnail maker. Use Canva Pro to curate content for YouTube, TikTok, Instagram Reels, Instagram Stories, and a whole lot more. Flyers, flowcharts, you name it, with Canva Pro. Click the affiliate link in the description to get Canva Pro. Many features, elements available to you. Take your brand to the next level. Invest in yourself. It takes money to make money. So sign up for Canva Pro today. Happy creations. Introducing Super Thanks. Right here on the official Boxingego YouTube. Super Thanks allows you, the viewers, to show a little bit of extra gratitude, which enables me as a full-time content creator to push out the content you need in the world of boxing. Underneath all the videos, you will see a heart with the $sign in it. You can enter any amount that you find suitable as a super thanks. A brand new, interactive, and colorful way to get your comments highlighted and noticed by not only myself, but other people on the YouTube platform. Super thanks, a unique and cool way to show and applaud us full-time content creators. Hopefully you guys enjoy the content. Super thanks. The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster. We working.